Why are you slow? There it is. Okay.
I have been incredibly busy over these past couple weeks, doing a lot, and I mean a serious lot, of Shermite gathering. And we have this double chest included on top of all the shulker boxes. But even with that, I still don't feel comfortable jumping back into the sun. But something I do want to jump into is back onto the planet Mercury, because while we did build up an entire sphere of a planet last episode, it honestly kind of looks like World Edit kind of placed it inside of here, especially since it's just one single type of block we used. So I want to start off by changing that at least a little bit and breaking up the solely one palette of gray and using other colors of gray. Maybe not too many more colors of gray, but at least enough to make this feel a little less World Edit-y, if you want to put it that way. I'm trying to think of the best way on doing this. I really don't know. I want it to feel like it's natural, but I don't want to feel like it's too uniform. What about something like this? Something small like what we just did here. That's small, but I think it's noticeable enough. I think so. And maybe if we do just a little bit of tough around the place too, maybe this could work too. This could work. All right, and I don't think I did quite enough, but let's just take a step back and have a look and see what we think now. That, honestly, if I do that more, especially with the tough, because the tough is like the most like different color from all the others, like that'd be perfect. That'd be absolutely perfect. But I think generally this is really good. This is really good. I don't think I have any more tough at home, so we're gonna have to do this the old-fashioned way. Oh, there you are. And there you go. And I think we should do more, but I think for right now we have done just enough. When I say just enough, I mean like, yeah, that is pretty much just enough to be considered less World Edit-y and a little bit more unique in how you actually built it up. Like, World Edit can't do that. I did that. That's me. A breathing, living human being has constructed something that's actually pretty cool. And speaking of something that's pretty cool, or pretty pot, depending on how you look at it, is Mercury itself. Because, of course, Mercury facing the sun is actually incredibly hot, but the other side is incredibly cold. And that gave me an idea. What if at the very top of Mercury, I build up sort of a yin-yang of trees, one for the very incredibly cold side and one for the incredibly hot side, but for one single tree? I think that would look fantastic. Only thing is, I'm not that good at making custom trees. But something I at least know on at least the materials I want to use is a bunch of this wood that I actually collected over the last who knows how long for the sun project. And I think like the warp stem would be perfect. Not this type of warp stem, but the what's it called? The logs. So we make a whole bunch of logs, place them all down, and then strip them down to make them completely blue, to make them seem like very cold and things like that. But in terms of the crimson, I think they're just a little bit too purpley. I want to get something that's more reddish, and there's only one place I could find red wood, and that's of course in the mangrove forest. Unless I have some just sitting right here, right? Let me check real quick. Yeah, some, but that's nowhere near enough from what I'm gonna need. And actually, didn't I plant a whole bunch, like, over here somewhere? Or maybe someone got rid of them. Yeah, someone got rid of them and put the big mangrove house in the way, which is fine. It's a good house. Just means we're gonna have to do a little bit of tree decapitation for a little bit. Looks like someone already beat me to it. Is this a base someone's building, or is this something else? This is Something else. 100% something else. So I won't bother whoever's doing that. But I will pop to pretty much the very edge and just chop down a few trees. Just not too many, but just enough. Oh, I always hate these things. I always hate the roots that never come off. Like this is the most annoying part of mangrove trees, like 100%, 100%. And actually, I'll just take these saplings home and just grow them at home. Forget deforesting. I could just deforest my own man-made forest. I can create life and then end it in its. I mean, after all, we're not short of like bone meal. I mean, just look at this. Like, we have no excuse to not do this way rather than just destroying an entire mangrove forest. Yeah, I think this will probably be enough. I'd be surprised if it isn't, considering the fact that, again, Mercury's not the biggest planet in the world, or out of this world. You know what I mean, you know what I mean. But what we need now is not only this wood, but also a bunch of warp wood, and on top of that, a bunch of this stuff, a bunch of warp blocks and nether warp blocks, because that is what we're going to be using to build up the leaves and all that other different types of stuff. But first off, okay, what I want to do, because I don't want to have these be logs, I want them to be the other logs, or the wood. I want them to be wood. You into that, and then you into that, and then that again with that again with that. And okay, I think we're ready to go. I'm only slightly dreading building this thing up, since I'm not that good at building up trees or something like that, especially natural ones, or especially custom-made ones. But I'm gonna need to take a brave pill and actually get to work on this thing. And, you know, actually, one thing that I could do, instead of just, like, jumping straight into building this thing, what if I were to, say, build up the tree, like the log part, but just, like, say, with granite or something like that, just so I don't feel like too worried or anything like that when actually building up this entire thing. And then I go back and place in all the logs and things like that. I think that would be less stressful. I think I'd be able to do it a little bit better. And I think we could actually get a real feel as to what this tree really should look like and how this tree should really feel. That, my friend, I think would be a fantastic idea. I think I'm doing something wrong already. I just don't know what it is yet. Let's not worry about that. Let's just build. Let's just build. We'll place blocks. We'll see where we go. It's not that often that I build up a custom tree on my own, but we'll have to. We could do this. We could do this. I have faith in myself. No, I don't. I have no idea what I'm doing. How does this look like so far? That's not too bad. That's honestly, that doesn't look terrible. Like, in my mind, in my head, that doesn't look terrible right now. But that doesn't look like a tree yet. That doesn't look like a tree yet. Oh dear, okay. We have some work to do. We definitely have some work cut out for ourselves. Some work that I eventually did do over way longer than I probably should have done, until we eventually ended up with. Now that actually doesn't look too bad right now, honestly. Like, I think it's gonna look so much better when we actually get the main wood in, but I think for just the layout of the tree, or at least the branches at least, that's not too bad. That's really not too bad. I think we do need to extend it right into the ground and stuff, but generally, this is a good start. But on the topic of good starts, we're going to have to have a good continuation. And to do that, how should we do it? I kind of want it to sort of loop itself around, making it look something like that, if that makes any sense. It probably does. And I'm probably going to leave, like, the wood, or not the wood, the granite right there, just so I can just build on top of it. But, alright, I hope this goes well. I always hope everything goes well. But we'll have to see. We'll have to keep our fingers as crossed as possible as we build ourselves up. Okay, that's all the warp wood in. Let's have a look and see what we think. I think, personally, it's hard to tell. Honestly, it's kind of hard to tell with just, like, one different type of wood in there. So maybe we gotta add the mangrove in, and then we can go from there and see what we think. I think regardless, we can get away with just going out just a little bit further. And then, yeah, okay, this is fine. This is good. And that, actually, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's not a bad start. That's definitely the opposite of a not good. I'm confusing myself. It's fine. But I think we really need to just make it feel like this isn't just like, you know, one certain tree. Because I want to make it feel like it's two different trees. It's sort of growing in on itself. So maybe to fix that, we just need to dig ourselves in here a little bit. Just to kind of make it seem like that, I think. And at the same time, I wonder if this color is just fine as is. Like, because I was originally going to strip them all, but I think, like, honestly, for what we have here, it's not bad. I think we could work with this color. Okay, that's... I don't know. I honestly don't know. They are at least feeling like they're their own trees that just so happen to grow, like, in the same place. That's the feeling I want. And I think that's kind of the feeling we have, in a way, mostly. Like, it's so hard to tell with the rain right now. But I think it's enough to tell for us to actually build up the leaves, I think. But what would be a good way in doing this? I don't know. I really don't know. I have no idea. Why does tree building have to be so hard? Why does it have to be so hard? But even with that, I think I built up two leaves or two bunches of leaves, which I think look actually pretty good. I don't want to say like this is exactly what I was expecting it to look like, but I think this does look pretty good. We are going to have to build up more branches, like probably a higher up branch, build up one more of these blue ones, but I think this is working. This is 1000% working. And I continued making it working by building up more and more of these branches and a few more of these leaves around the place, on top of the red ones on the other side too. And now, behold of the scope of my amazing, beautiful, and unknowing, especially to me, tree building capabilities. Look at that thing. That is fantastic. That is seriously so good. I can be proud of that. I can be seriously proud of that. Like it's not an easy thing to build. It's certainly not an easy thing to build, but I think it ended up looking absolutely fantastic. From a distance, it almost looks like I accidentally placed like a crimson and warped fungus too close together, and they grew up to be just this mishmash of like one specific type of tree. If only I had the purple wood, whatever it's called. But I think still this I love it. I love it. 100% love it. I think there's more to be done. I don't know what that is yet. So if you have any other ideas as to what Mercury could be seeing on top of it or surrounding it or whatever, leave them down below in the comments. But otherwise, for now, this is very satisfying to see and very satisfying to look at. But yeah, for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all later.